Right, that's done. Now, comment below. Would you have done the same? Would you have done it the long way just to stop me from having to take the condense trap out? Or would you have just taken the trap out and done it the quick way?
What's up, people? Welcome back to this week's Day in the Life of a Gas Engineer video. Bit of a mixed bag of jobs again today. Got a few services that turn into repairs as I usually do. Hope you guys enjoy the videos. I'm not going to keep this intro too long. I'm going to let you crack on with the video. But before you do, if you wouldn't mind, just hit that subscribe button for me, please. Hit the like button and also ring the little bell. I'm trying to get to 10,000 by the end of the year, so let's try and keep it moving. Enjoy the video. Catch you on the next one.
If you know what job I'm about to go and do. Let's go and have a look. So it's already been stripped out there. Got the fan assembly out, the banana arm. This one came out pretty easily. These are the old electrodes. So we look at those compared to the new ones. So these should be changed every 5 years. Well, the burner seal should definitely be changed every 5 years because that's what happens to it if you leave it for more than 5 years. And that's how it should look. So luckily had these as van stock, so going to replace that and put the boiler back together, do another sweep test, make sure everything else is okay, and then carry on with the service. Right, doing another sweep test up there. .95 oxygen, no CO2, or a bit of CO2, but no CO. And that's going back up again as well, so yeah, happy days, happy with that. How are you doing, everyone? So today's been, well, I've not really had much interesting content to film, should I say. Just been a few basic services. I had that Worcester, which obviously the burner seal was leaking, so replaced the burner seal and the electrodes. That's all fine. Other than that, yeah, it's not really been anything interesting. There was actually one job which I should have filmed, but I didn't bring my camera in. I just thought I was meant to be an in and out job. I was just meant to replace a Nest heat link. But when I got in, the customer said to me that they're also having problems with the water in the hot taps just going lukewarm. Now they've got a system boiler and an unvented cylinder. So luckily, whoever's installed the cylinder has put valves in the correct places. So what I was able to do was shut off the cold inlet to the cylinder. There was actually also a valve on the hot outlet to the cylinder as well. So I shut that off and shut all the valves off on the cylinder to basically isolate the cylinder completely from the domestic system. Went round and opened hot taps. Surprise, surprise, still getting water out of it, but cold water. So that tells me that there's a mixer passing somewhere, allowing cold water to mix in with the hot pipe. And that's why it's diluting the heat in coming out the hot water and causing it to only be lukewarm. Now, it's quite a big bungalow. They've got 3 bathrooms there. 2 of them were bar shower mixers and 1 was a concealed shower. So what I did was one by one, I took each bar shower off, capped the outlets on it, turned the water back on, tested it. Same thing on the second shower. I also went around with all the basin taps and the kitchen tap as well, isolated the cold on all of them as well. Still getting water through the hot. The only one that I wasn't able to test was the concealed shower valve and the bath where it's serving. The bath panel's all tiled in, so I can't even take the bath panel off. That's the last remaining thing to check. If I was able to take the bath panel off, I would have hopefully found isolation points or maybe cut in isolation valves if there was pipe work there next. It was accessible enough. But yeah, so this is where I'm at the moment with that one. I've advised them to get the bath panel removed, and if they do, then I can go back and have a look, see if it is that. But that's literally the last thing that I was not able to test. Tested everything else. It's still passing. I reckon it's going to be that concealed shower valve, but yeah, we'll find out. So anyway, this next job that I'm going to now is not plumbing or heating related. I've got to fit a cooker hood. So let's go inside and have a look. So this is a cooker hood that I'm going to be replacing today. This is a 900 wide, I believe, but they've only got 600 wide. So obviously it's going to be a bit of a gap there, but I'm going to try and center it so it's centered over the hob to start taking apart first. Right, so I've had to remove the top unit there because the way this extractor fan sits is similar to like a boiler bracket. So let me stick that up there. So you see up there, you've got a hook there, you've got another hook there. So it's got to lift up and then towards me. So that's why I've had to remove that top unit there. So I've got that off and now get the extractor fan off. Okay, extractor fan is all fitted. This one's a lot more easier. Literally, you get a template with it, put 2 screws on the back, lift it on, hangs down, tighten the screws in, job done. I've put a new fuse spare up there as well because the cable for this one was literally just going there and then disappearing behind these units. So drill a couple of holes in here, run that cable up through there, and then I've just fitted a fuse spare just up above there. Other than that, it works. Okay, so the first job we've got here today is a gas safety and a standard boiler service. It's actually on one of my installs from about 3 years ago. So there goes my badge. I had a old Biasi in here, ripped it out and put a main Eco Compact. Let's have a look at the pipework, see how that's looking in there. Remember, this is a bit tight to get out. There we go. Alright. Yeah, pipework's not looking too sad. Surprised the gas has gone dull though. Normally it's the coal that goes dull, but the gas has gone duller than that. Good thing is, with the gas here, it's literally the meters right outside. Meters right there. Flue, we had a bit of an issue with it. Well, when I say issue, the Biasi boiler, because it had a vessel at the back, the flue sat further forward, one or the other. Well, basically there was a difference in where the flue was coming out through the side, so remember we had to break out a whole lot of the flue and then redo it. But end of the day, the boiler got done, and yeah, customers happy, no complaints over the last 3 years. Just here, so they're away now. They've renting this property out. They don't live here anymore. So I'm here to do a double job, gas safety and a boiler service. So firstly, let's just pop the fuse spur off, go outside, start doing a tightness test, and then I've got the boiler to do and also the hob as well. So tightness test is done. That's all good. I'm a big fan of these boilers, the main Eco Compacts. I mean, now they've also gone up in price a lot, but the biggest selling point for these were the price. I used to be able to get these for about, I think the 25 kilowatt was about 535 to 550, including VAT with the flue. And the 30 kilowatt used to be, I think, 575 to 600, including VAT with the flue. So for basically a Baxi 600 or a Baxi 800, just the only difference was it was a 5-year warranty instead of a 10-year warranty. But the internals are exactly the same. Obviously the price now has gone up, so they're not as appealing. They're still obviously cheaper than the 600s and 800s, but there's now other options available for that sort of price range, for the similar sort of price range. But when these were as cheap as they used to be, I used to fit these. Well, these were my go-to boilers for homeowners and landlords. Maine's obviously known as a landlord boiler, but it's not. It's a very good boiler. It's basically Baxi 800 inside. So yeah, everything's really easily accessible. Not that I'd need to touch anything, but you've got your Bros Hydro Block diverter cartridge, you've got your actuator head, PRV is just there, pressure sensor, expansion vessel hose, pump, blah blah blah, Hall effect sensor, plate. Everything's nice and easy accessible. The only thing with these and with the Baxi 800s and 600s is the PRV. You got to remember, whenever you're doing these, do the PRV first, because if you don't, and the first time I remember doing one, I thought everyone does the PRV and the condense last. You get everything done, and then the PRV connection, depending on how you want to do it, is very tight to the gas, so sometimes you may want to kick it out, or if it's going straight out. Luckily this one was going straight down, but if it's going straight out the back, it can get a little bit tight to try and do the pipe work there. So that's the only thing you've got to remember. Make sure you do the PRV first. Right, let's get it isolated and let's drain it down. So I actually had a bit of an issue with the expansion vessel on this one. The old Schrader valve just wouldn't shut, and you can see I've taken it out. There's a bit of grit that's gotten into it. So I tried the little trick with pushing the Schrader valve in to try and stop it from, well, help it seal, but it's not. So I've just got a new one out of the van. Got my little Schrader valve removal tool, so literally popped it out. Going to pop the new one in. Right, let's get a bit of LDF on there. There we go. No more bubbles. So I'm happy with that. Last one was bubbling away. Cool. Expansion vessel's charged. Boiler's been drained out. So wet side's been checked. I'm now going to power it back on, put it through its purge program, and then, well, tighten the system done, pack up all the wet stuff, well, clean the filter, and then do the rest of it. Right, let's see how well my flush was from 3 years ago. Obviously I've been cleaning it out every year as well. A bit of water, let's get that out of there. I do remember being able to get this out. How did I get it out before? Bit of splashy, there we go. Right, let's bring that over. There we go. So yeah, not very dirty at all, which is what we want to see after 3 years. Happy days. Okay, filter's been cleaned. Let's pop the power back on. So back up to pressure. Now on these, to put them in purge mode, you literally turn both the heating and the hot water back to 0, and then the heating one, from 12 o'clock you take it to quarter turn, back and back twice. We say 3, 1, 2. There we go. So that's basically now just going to purge the system. It takes about 7 minutes, and whilst it's purging, I'm going to have a tidy up of everything that I don't need now. All I need now is left is my analyzer, because I've done the basic stuff that I need to do for this service. Drain the water out, check the expansion vessel so I can pop all those bits away. By the time this will finish purging, and I can come back and finish off with my 26 line checks. Okay, so while the boiler is finishing purging, adjusting the hob. So I've just gas rated it. Let's just check the safety devices. I want to listen out for the 4 clicks. Come on. 4 clicks, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4, done. 4 clicks done. Now I've actually repiped this hob before, so I don't need to have a look at it underneath, because I've done the new pipe work with a new gas cock and everything. So as long as the tightness test is fine, I'm happy with that. Boiler, so I'd locked out the gas underneath, so that once it finished purging, it would try to fire, which it did, and obviously E133. And also I didn't want that to affect my gas rate for the hob as well, because if that's fired up, it would have knocked the gas rate out for this. So both safety devices have been checked now, so let's put the gas back on, reset that. There we go. Really light. Let's turn the temperatures back to where they were. Well, I'm going to have to do the service mode anyway. There you go. It's fired up. Got a flame on there. So now let's do service mode on that as well. Cool, so start gas rating that, and analyzer is ready. So let's crack on with the last few bits. Boiler, spot on. Didn't even have to adjust the gas valve or anything. All the readings were fine. Now, slack rolls never here. All good for another year. Let's go on to the next one.
So the great thing is I've done that boiler service and gas safety. Now, in order to fill out the paperwork, I'm literally just sitting in my van, just doing it on my phone. I could have done it while I was in there, but I didn't have my tablet with me today. So normally I have my tablet out and I'm filling it out whilst I'm doing all the other bits, but I haven't got it with me today, but it's not a problem. Already got the landlord and the site address details loaded on Powered now, and I'm literally just going to do a form filling exercise, fill out the details. A lot of it becomes pre-populated for you already. The rest of it is just the details of the property and the readings and stuff like that I need to put in there, but probably take me about 5-10 minutes to do this in the van. Ping it off, gas sets sent off, boiler service records sent off, invoices sent off. All I've got to do is wait to get paid now. So if you guys want to give it a try, I'll put a link in the description. You've got 14-day free trial, and then you've got 3 months at 50% off if you want to give it a try. You don't have to enter any credit card details or any payment details for the free trial. You literally just enter your details and it creates an account for you. After the 14-day expires, you then have the option to go on to a monthly subscription or a yearly subscription or anything like that. Give it a go. Might help you out. It definitely helps me out. I enjoy using it. I know everyone's got their own preferences, but I enjoy using it, and I wouldn't be promoting something which I thought was a rubbish product. So.
Right, next one we've got a leaking tap. So cold tap, apparently it's leaking from down here, so the customer's ready to turn the water off. There's an ISO valve here, so what we're going to do is, this is a little container that I'm using, so we'll pop that down there, turn the water on just to see exactly where it's leaking from. Okay, there's the leak. Yeah, I think it's just coming from the washer there. Right, let's turn that back off. Hopefully that's just a case of changing out a washer in there, because that's where it's leaking from, just up there. Right, let me undo that. Go and grab some fibre washers out the van and see if we can just get this sorted with a quick fix. It's the washer that's completely perished. So let's just grab that washer. I don't think there is a washer on there. That's what the problem is. Yeah, there isn't actually a washer on there, which is very strange. Okay. Right, let's turn the water back on. Give that a little test. Still got a little weep. It's better than what it was. Let's just a bit of a dip up. I'll give that a few minutes and see if it stops dripping. Okay, that's all fine. No more weeps. Water's on and running. And that's all good. So just use this plumber's first aid kit. I've actually had this for, well, this is the first thing that I bought after I finished my plumbing apprentice, which was about 9 years ago. It's still got the same box. Haven't even used it all up. Still got those bits in it. Just goes to show, you know, stuff like this, it just comes in handy. It sits in the van 9 times out of 10, but stuff like this is when it comes in handy. Right, next job. Got a boiler service. What have we got here? Let's get this off. Oh, there's no data badge on this one. Right. Let's see if there's. Yeah. It tells us what it is inside. Put that in there. Oh, that's not a good sign already. Turret seals leaking up. Right, data badge, Ecotec Plus 831. Looks like it's had a few changes. It looks like it needs a few more. I think the diverter might have been leaking. There's some staining there. AAV. Oh, that's the tightness test timer. Okay. Let's see how it performs. Right, boiler's in max P1. The probe there. Oh, that's already less than 20.6. No CO being picked up yet. Yeah. Yeah, that's dropping. And we have CO. Okay, so definitely got a failed turret seal. Let's see if there's any other problems with it. So that last Valen, I checked my van, ran out of turret seals unfortunately, and control knobs, so I need to make a little trip to Essex Seating Spares and pick up some more spares. So I'll be back there tomorrow. I've got an all-day power flush in Dunstable, believe it or not, so I'm really stepping out of my comfort zone. And I'll be back there probably Wednesday afternoon, so unfortunately I've had to at-risk it in the meantime, and yeah, I'll be back to repair it. This next job that I'm about to go into, it's a Worcester CDI. I came to do a service on it last week, and I picked up that it had the old electrodes with the sight glass, and the AAV was a bit crusty as well, so I'm literally just going to go in, swap those out. Let's have a look. Here we go. CDI, sight glass, no good. AAV, and there's a bit crusty as well, so we're going to recharge that vessel when I drain it out, and then change those sight glass over. So we go, electrodes have been changed over. It's literally just 2 screws on there. Pop them out, put new ones in. The old ones, actually not in too bad nick, but that sight glass, whenever I come across a CDI, that sight glass needs to be replaced because you can already see it's starting to get a bit milky there. That means it's under heat stress, and eventually that will crack, and then you'd have a flamethrower basically coming out of your boiler, which you don't want. So that's the new electrodes in. Now let's get the AAV done. That's a bloody good start. I don't think the drain off's actually working. I've got it fully open, but nothing's coming out of it. Let me see if I can recharge the vessel and see if that pushes. If there's a bit of dirt in there, I might push it out. Right, don't know what's actually wrong, but just open up the flange returns and it's drained out. Now the pressure gauge is also reading 0, so I'm not quite sure what the issue was there. Maybe it was a false reading on the pressure gauge, I'm not sure, but luckily because the boiler is the highest point in the property, I've just opened up the flange returns, drained it out, because I've had it before where I wasn't sure if that was blocked or that was blocked or that was wrong. I tried to undo the AAV and yeah, water just came out everywhere. So just open up the flange returns and drain the boiler and everything up to this level out, which is the highest point. Now I'll recharge the vessel again, push any excess air or water back out of it, and then I should be able to get the AAV done. Okay, so I've just got my setups on there. I just didn't want to bother taking out the condense strap. I know it normally makes things easier, but I'm trying to touch as little as possible with this boiler. I just want to make sure I'm not going to get near the water feature. Do this. Still got the drain off open, so if there's any excess water, it should drain out. What's wrong with this? Make it bigger. Normally I'd do this a lot quicker, but I'm just a little bit worried that the AAV, when I take it out, if there's water behind it, it's going to go everywhere. Hopefully not. Oh, yeah, see, there's a bit there. That's right. Yeah. At least it didn't blast out on me. This is one of those jobs where I think it's going to be easier without taking the condense trap out, but it's really not. Alright, here's the old AAV O-ring. I've got that out. Right, let me get the new one. Okay, new one. It's all ready, greased up. Now, watch me struggle because I haven't taken the condense trap out. Sitting in there. Just need to get it in position, push it down. Oh, no, I nearly had it. Come on, let's try that again. No, the O-ring's come off it now, so I've got to take the whole thing back out again because the O-ring came off. That's the cap. I'll put the cap on afterwards. It's not urgent. Alright. We're in. Cap back on. Couple of turns, that's open. Right, that's done. Now, comment below. Would you have done the same? Would you have done it the long way just to stop you from having to take a condense trap out? Or would you have just taken the trap out and done it the quick way? There we go. Boiler is back on. I've just whacked it into minimum rate just to let it purge out any of the excess there so it doesn't overheat. Whack it up a bit. But yeah, that is all good. This is a machine. Right. Happy days. Job done.